Welcome to the Power Up Talk Show, a talk show where we bring together community leaders and inspirational people that are making a difference in our world. I'm so excited to have Miss Omaha, Maria Cade, here in the studio today. I met her almost a year ago, and she was a speaker at the Women with Voices Summit, and she is just a ray of sunshine, but she is officially a multimedia journalist for First Alert 6. Maria, welcome.
Thank you for having me, Sandy. I'm so glad that we can sit down and chat for a little bit.
I
so
love this.
So
It's like you're on the other side. She usually interviews,
yeah,
and here
exactly.
we are. You
That's
get
what
to have
makes
the
it
fun.
so much fun, because normally I'm always the one, like you said, asking the questions, finding out about people. But I love to share a little bit more about my work and things that I do too. So thanks so much for having me.
Absolutely. First of all, tell the world exactly who you are and a little bit about your story.
Yeah, so I'm a multimedia journalist at Channel 6, just like you said. I'm the morning reporter, so you have to wake up really, really early if you want to catch me. We're on from 5 a.m. until 8 a.m. now, so 3 hours in the morning. And I get to do a lot of really cool stories, a lot of community-focused human interest stories, which is really my bread and butter. I love to go out and share stories of the good things, the positive things happening in Omaha. And I have the opportunity to do that and meet so many people through my job. And additionally, in addition to that, I'm able to connect with a lot of people through my position and my title as Miss Omaha. So I became Miss Omaha nearly 10 months ago now, back in August, which is so crazy. I mean, time really flies. But since then, I've kind of integrated myself into the community and volunteered with so many different organizations, Women with Voices just being one of them. But it's been an incredible opportunity. You only get to be Miss Omaha once, so I'm really making the most of it, trying to do as much as I can and really serve the communities here in Omaha as much as I can.
So as far as, you're not originally from Omaha, Nebraska. Share with the audience how that shift from where you began, from New York City to Pennsylvania to here to Omaha to Miss Omaha.
I know, I've kind of been all over the place. So I
it.
was born and raised in Newcastle, Pennsylvania. It's about an hour north of Pittsburgh. Grew up there, went to high school there, and then when I was about to go to college, I knew I wanted a little bit of a change, experience new things, new places, meet new people. So I actually ended up moving down to North Carolina, and I went to the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, where I graduated with my degree in media and journalism. After that was when I got to move up to New York City, and I actually worked at Good Morning America, which was such a dream of mine. I mean, I grew up watching it as a little girl, and to have been able to get there and live in New York City, which was a goal of mine, something that I wanted to do for years and years at such an early point in my career, I mean, that was incredible. And I learned so much working there, seeing the anchors up close, people who I had admired in my field, in my industry for so many years. That was life-changing. And I mean, it really shaped how I feel that I approach my job now, because I was able to see people working at such a high level so early on. That allowed me to sort of grasp things from them, take things away from them and their experiences. So I have nothing but incredible things to say about that experience.
Any great memories or lessons being behind the camera in New York City with Good Morning America? Like, I've been to New York 3 times, and it's always so much fun to be in the crowd. But you were like in the inside world. I love that.
I mean, I didn't have a car there. It's kind of difficult when you're living in New York City. So I trekked it every day. I felt like a real New Yorker. You know, I was taking the subway to and from work at sometimes 3 in the morning I had to be at work, so super, super early in the morning, and really tried to integrate myself into the city. It takes a lot of grit to live in New York, and I feel like that was a skill that I had beforehand, but I was really able to develop and hone living there in the city. And as far as my journalism career, I got to meet and speak with Robin Roberts for a little bit, who is my all-time favorite journalist, and she's really an inspiration for me. The great thing about Robin is that she is exactly how she is and comes across on TV. She's warm, she's approachable, she's empathetic. Those are all qualities that I hope that I embody, not just as a journalist, but as Maria too. So to be able to chat with her and see her in action, it was life-changing.
Now, let's go to Omaha. You did a lot of community events. I know you have really embraced Omaha. How else could you be Miss Omaha? What are some things that you found different being in Nebraska?
Well, I've lived here for almost 2 years now, and moving here, I had no idea what I was getting myself into. I accepted my position at Channel 6 without ever even visiting. I had never been to the Midwest, never been to Omaha, Nebraska. I even signed my lease for my apartment over email, never toured it or anything. I just took a leap of faith. But I think that coming into it without having expectations really allowed me to fall in love with the city because I didn't have any idea of what to expect or what I was getting into. So to come here and really see just how incredible this city is and the opportunities here. I mean, we have incredible performing arts spaces, world-class sports venues, incredible restaurants. Oh my gosh, this is a foodie city, and I did not expect that moving here. It's just been incredible. And I think the number one thing that sets Omaha apart from other places around the country is the heart. Everybody here cares about one another. They want to give back to Omaha. They want to see it thrive. And I think that fits really well with my passion for community service and my want to give back. And I was so excited to see that that rippled all across the city when I moved here. So becoming Miss Omaha and being able to give back in that way, I felt like it was a perfect fit because there are already so many people doing incredible things here in the city. I'm happy to highlight them and happy to give back in any way that I can as well.
And how exciting that you were in the parade with Bud
It
Crawford.
was so
Oh my
fun.
goodness.
Oh my gosh.
He won the big champion
Yes.
boxing, right? What was
Yes.
he, champion of the world or
Yeah,
what? I don't know,
think
something.
third
Yeah.
undisputed championship.
Something huge.
Insane, yes.
And here you are, you just got Miss Omaha and you're in the parade.
Yeah, it was just a couple weeks after I'd won. So an incredible opportunity. And I mean, there were thousands of people there. So it was really awesome to promote and share my message as Miss Omaha and be there because I think a lot of people who were at that parade were people from a community who might not have been exposed to Miss Omaha and the Miss America opportunity. It's the #1 women's organization for scholarship, which I think a lot of people don't realize. That was part of the reason why I actually started competing in Miss America because of the scholarship opportunities. When I was graduating from UNC, I had a ton of student loans and student debt coming up. I had no idea how I was going to pay for them. But I thought back to Miss America. I knew that there were scholarship opportunities and service opportunities as well. So I thought, you know what, let's just give it a try. Let's see if I can do this. And I competed in my first competition in 2021. I've been a part of this organization ever since. And throughout that time, I've earned over $17,000 in college scholarships, which I think a lot of people don't realize this organization gives back in so many ways. That's just one of them.
That is so interesting. I'm actually coaching right now Miss Georgia. She is practicing with her interview questions.
Amazing.
And one that scholarships is
Yes.
a huge thing. I didn't realize that.
#1.
So let's talk about your message, right? Everyone has a message in pageantry. What is your message?
Yeah, so in Miss America, we all have a community service initiative, and mine is called Filter the Facts, Thinking Critically About Media. It's all focused on the importance of media literacy, social media, and online safety. And really the key thing for me when it comes to my CSI is education. I want to let as many people, especially young people, know the importance of staying safe online, tools, helpful tips, things that you could do in order to make sure that you're staying safe and you know how to navigate the digital space. It kind of started when I became a journalist and I saw a lot of people posting things online that weren't necessarily true. We see that pretty often because everybody has access to social media. Technically, anybody can be a journalist because anybody can post. But it's really, really important, especially for our younger people, younger Americans who are really impressionable, to know that not everything that's put out there is the facts. So giving them the tools and helping them navigate that space, especially as they get older, I think it's so important. And that's really what I've been able to do as Miss Omaha. I've gone and visited classrooms all across the metro and beyond, in Iowa, Pennsylvania, as well back home. And I've gotten to speak to almost 1,000 students through my CSI and my digital detective school tour, where I give students those tips and helpful tools in order to navigate online in a safe way.
It's so true. As far as your messaging, if you are Miss USA, right? Is
Miss
that your
America.
Miss America? Oh my gosh! How would you take that and extend it to a bigger, broader audience?
Yeah, well, the incredible thing about my position working in news is that I already have a pretty large following on social media. I have a social media following of almost 50,000 followers across all of my different platforms. So I'm able to already share this message with people all across the country because I have followers from all different parts of America and the world too, to be honest. So I'm able to make informational videos, again, sharing those helpful tips, really honing in on that educational focus and making sure that everybody is able to stay safe. Of course, like I said, it's really important for our younger Americans because they're at an age where they don't know necessarily all those tips and tools, but it's a really great reminder for everyone. I mean, media literacy, social media safety, it's a relevant topic for everyone of all ages. So really, really great reminders. I think I've even been caught in situations myself where I've seen videos that might be generated by AI or photos. It's really hard to tell now, so I've been tricked myself. So it's really helpful to remember those reminders and key helpful tools so that you can stay safe online.
So let's talk a little bit about your average day. You know, lights, camera, action, right? I love that you did a post and you just said how you get ready in the morning, you get up early, that you do your own makeup and hair.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, okay. What's an average day for you?
Well, my alarm clock goes off at 2 o'clock in the morning. A little bit shocking, right?
Yeah.
But that's my reality. That's my life. So I wake up, get ready to go into work. I'm into work at 3 a.m. and working on our morning show. We have to get all of our stories ready. I think most people don't realize, but a lot of us write our own script. So I have to write up all the stories that I'm sharing on the morning news. So I prepare all of that, find video, other elements, visual elements for the show as well. Again, we're on TV from 4:30 to 8. I'm 5 to 8. So 3 hours for me, 3.5 for some of my colleagues. And then after that, I get to go out into the field and report, share stories out in the community and out in the field. So I have a really awesome position where I can do both. So many journalists, it's either one or the other. You're anchoring in the studio or you're out in the field, but I have the opportunity to do both of those, which is pretty unique. So I feel really, really lucky with that. Since I've been Miss Omaha, after I get off of work, all of my time afterwards is dedicated to giving back to the community. So I'll go and do school visits, I'll MC events, be a keynote speaker at different events like Women with Voices, different things like that. So my day is really, really full, but you're only Miss Omaha for a year. You're only Miss Nebraska for a year. So you have to be able to make the most of it. And I think that I have.
I love the thought that, okay, your makeup in here. I'm sorry, I'm going back to the girl
let's
stuff.
do it.
I love the girl hair. Like, did you go to a class for your makeup? Do you have, like, how do you learn?
Yeah, I grew up doing theater, so that
sure.
was mainly how I learned how to do it. Ever since I was in elementary school, I was on stage. I grew up singing, and at UNC, I actually studied classical vocal performance too. A lot of people don't know that I'm a classically trained opera singer. So growing up doing theater and opera productions, that was sort of how I learned how to do my hair and makeup because I had to know how to do it for the stage. And then that was a little bit of an easier transition once I got into television because, you know, everybody has to do their own hair and makeup. We don't have a team. They do it at the national level. They do it good.
Yeah. I think, yeah. But, oh, yeah.
Not here in Omaha. So we all have to learn. And luckily I had those skills to bring with me from my performance experience.
I love that. Let's talk about competition for a pageantry. Mm-hmm. I know that it can be competitive, but I always feel that when you watch the behind the scenes from pageants, that they really build a sisterhood. Is there any stereotype or anything that you feel that people may think this is what it's like when you compete at this level that you're at that you can share with the audience?
Yeah. I think a lot of people, just like you said, think that women who compete in competitions like Miss America are vain. They're focused on themselves and focused on things that can benefit them. But especially for Miss America, it's exactly the opposite. I know for me, getting this title of Miss Omaha, I knew immediately I wanted to do as much as I could to give back. I dove into this community, volunteering with organizations like the American Heart Association, the Arthritis Foundation of Nebraska. I'm a state board member for them. Mm-hmm. The Greater Omaha Chamber, I served as a board member as well for their Young Professionals Summit Committee. So I think when people realize that service is such a huge part of this organization, and the women who get involved, they get involved because they want an avenue and an opportunity to give back, that really ignites a lot of passion and a lot of intrigue for people who might not necessarily be familiar with Miss America or Miss Omaha and what we do.
As far as giving back, you have a show, right, that you just started that you are giving back with community and activities. Tell the audience a little bit about that. How did they get on it? What is it about? Because it's new this year, correct?
Yes, we just started it in January. So myself and one of my colleagues at Channel 6, Elaine and Riley, we host a show every single Friday morning called Things to Do, and it's highlighting events and things happening in the Omaha Metro, things that you can go out and do if you're in need of something to do. So it's really, really great because we're able to highlight a lot of the positive organizations, a lot of positive things in Omaha. I think a lot of times people tune out the news. They don't even want to turn it on because they think it's all bad. I don't want to hear that. There's too much negativity in the world. So we wanted to provide an outlet, an opportunity for people to watch content on our channel that would be positive. You have an hour of your day every single Friday, getting your weekend started on a high note. And that's exactly what we wanted to do. We've been able to highlight so many incredible organizations so far this week. We had on the Omaha Public Library and the Nebraska Chinese Association for an event they're having this week. The Omaha Heart Walk is this weekend as well. So, really highlighting a lot of incredible events and positive things happening in Omaha. It's important. It's really, really important because we have so many good things happening here. And a lot of people think, oh, there's nothing to do in Omaha. What's there to do? Because they're not connected or they're not informed. So I'm really, really happy that we started the show and we're able to provide that outlet and let people know what's going on.
And what time does that show air?
9 a.m. every single Friday.
I love that.
Yes.
All righty. Let's talk about a little bit about, I love community. That's my keynote signature speech, the power of community and giving back. What's the one thing that you really want to bring awareness to as far as Omaha is like a big little city, right? What have you noticed living in Omaha now, how you can expand some of these nonprofits, some of these events that are going on that you've either done or you want to do, or what do you see for the future of Omaha?
That's my favorite part about this city is that you get both. It's a big city vibes, but also you have that small town feel. I feel like everybody knows everybody or is connected to everybody in some way. It really is, kind of like a small town in that sense where you'll go to an event, you meet someone, and they know somebody who you know, or you know somebody who they know. And those connections, I think, really are what sets Omaha apart from any other really large city. There are people when you go to community events who you'll continue to see. I know that's how I met you, out and about at community events. So just getting out there and putting yourself out there is really, really important, and making sure that we have platforms to highlight those opportunities for people to go out and meet people, get involved in the community is so important. And that's exactly what we're doing on our show, Things to Do.
I love that. And that's what I love bringing in guests on my talk show.
Yep.
It's just a way to really showcase people that are making a difference,
Absolutely.
things that are happening in the world. Now, there's one thing I just saw on your social media is that you were there, I think, at 2:00 in the morning when the airplane was coming in with the people.
For hantavirus.
Yes. How do you hear about that? How do you get there? What's the behind the scenes of I'm going to go, I'm going to show up?
When there's a big event like that, oftentimes us as a news organization, we're briefed beforehand. So we actually found out about 12 hours before that was happening that the plane was coming in. So we had a little bit of advance notice from the airport that was going to be happening. But I don't go in until 3, so I had to wake up extra early that morning and get in. But I think that that's so important because it's important for our community to be informed. The job of journalists, especially local journalists, are undervalued. Yes. There are people who don't realize or don't take what we do seriously. So I love providing that behind the scenes look so that people can see what goes into being a journalist. We're boots on the ground. Yes. You might think, oh, there's national news and you might have your thoughts about that, but local journalists, we're your neighbors. We're your friends, your community members, we're just like you. And I think that it's important that people are able to see the behind the scenes of that and know what we do because we're living here in Omaha just like all of you. And we want to make sure that everybody in Omaha is informed. That's why we do the work that we do. And I think it's so, so important.
So that brings me to the question of what was it that your passion is to be in a journalism world, right? It's not easy. You get up early, pays okay, you know what I mean? It's a tough gig.
Yeah.
What made you passion to get into this industry?
Storytelling.
Yeah.
I love to tell people's stories and just give them the microphone, just like you do on your show. I think there are a lot of people who have done incredible things or have incredible stories to share. And I feel privileged every single day that I can wake up and be the person to give them the mic and allow them the platform to share their story. There are people who might not want to go forward and come forward with their stories, but when they feel comfortable enough to do so, it's really, really powerful. That's a lot of what you do too with Women with Voices, people who are unsure about themselves or not confident. So making sure that everybody feels like they can share their story that they want to tell, it's so important. And I feel really, really lucky that I have the opportunity to do that.
What age did you figure out that you want to be a journalist? I mean, did you see someone
Yes.
on air, like on the Good Morning America?
Well,
Like,
I
what was it?
that nerdy kid when I
Yeah.
would wake up every single morning and watch the news with my mom before I went to school. But it didn't really click for me that I wanted to be a journalist until I was about a senior in high school and in my junior year. So that was when I decided I wanted to go into broadcast journalism specifically. But thinking back when I was a little girl, I actually had a lot of the instincts and a lot of the passions that journalists have at a really, really young age. I remember that I actually was gifted a flip video camera, a camcorder when I was little, I think maybe like 10 or 11 years old. And I would bring it to family events, birthday parties, family reunions, and literally interview the people who were there. I didn't realize it at the time, of course, but I would go up to them and say, "What's going on here? Tell me about what we're doing here." And I think, having those journalistic instincts at a young age, it wasn't apparent to me then, but now looking back, it was like, this is what I was meant to do always.
I love that. It's kind of like I grew up in a small restaurant with my parents' restaurant, and I always sat at the table in second grade. My twin brother would bust tables. I would just sit down and get to know people. Why'd you get pizza? Why'd you get chicken? Why'd you do this? And I always say I found my voice in that specialty head, and that's why I love hospitality today. But it's something that just triggers, I think, in your heart that you just want people to be showcased. And I think your personality, my personality, is that we just want to show the world who people are. So they're seen. Because I feel like in the world of we're very passionate. I feel like we're a passionate world right now that people want to be heard and seen. Have you ever had a great story or an event that has stand out that has really changed or made like a really great, remembrance of a story that you've had to report on?
Yeah, since I've been here in Omaha, I've had the opportunity to meet so many incredible people and do incredible things, go behind the scenes at places that I might never have had the opportunity to do if I would not be in the position that I'm in. One thing that sticks out to me, especially as we're coming up on the Omaha Heart Walk, last year I had the chance to speak with a man named Greg. He was a stroke survivor, and his story was so incredibly detailed and passionate, and I just felt, how lucky am I that he feels comfortable enough to share something so vulnerable with me, that he feels that he can share this with me and is allowing me to share it with even more people. So hearing personal testimonies about things like that really, inspires me to keep going. Because in the journalism industry, oftentimes you're meeting people, it's either the best day of their life or the worst day of their life. And I mean, a lot more often than not, it's the worst day. So getting to hear those inspiring stories about how people continue to go and keep moving forward after going through such awful things, trials and tribulations, that keeps me going because I want other people to hear about that and be inspired by their work as well.
So true. Totally on that call with one of the voices. It's the same thing. All right, what's a fun thing that you love to enjoy as you're off duty? You're always you're busy.
I know.
You're busy.
A lot of my time is
But what do you
taken
like
up,
to do to fill your tank, right?
Yeah.
You fill other people's tank. I mean, just your smile, your presence, make people feel good. But what fills your tank?
I love music. I love to sing. And Miss America and Miss Omaha gives me an opportunity to perform as well. I've had the chance to sing the national anthem at some incredible events at Charles Schwab Field for Creighton baseball and down at CHI Health Center Arena too, in front of thousands and thousands of people. So that's been an incredible opportunity. But my favorite part of my day is my drive into work. It's super early in the morning, so there's nobody on the roads, but I can just turn up my music and sing. I can be with myself for about 20 minutes and just get ready for my day and pump myself up, get in a good mood. So music always has made me happy. That's the thing that I love the most, and I love to share that with people as well. But getting to sing and, express myself in that way has always been the thing that's made my cup fill the most. Yeah.
I love that. And I saw at Christmas time you sang to your grandmother, I think. I felt like I was in the living room going, oh, that's so pretty.
She's my number one fan.
Oh,
It's really, really tough because my family's far away. They're in Pennsylvania. So I'm lucky in that my position, they're able to still feel connected to me in some way. They can watch me on our news app, First Alert 6 news app. And when I was able to go home and sing to her, that was something that I really wanted to do because I know that she grew up listening to me sing and perform as well. And she's missed that, hearing that live and in person. So I was so happy to do that for her.
That was very special. Let's talk about what do you want to do for the future?
Yes.
What do you have plans? Where do you want to go? What's your to-do list? What's on your track? Yes.
I mean, I'm a really ambitious person. I always like to say that you will never meet somebody who has more drive or more ambition than I do. If I commit to something or give my time to something, I'm going to give 150% every single time. So going into the journalism industry, I had the goal of working at Good Morning America. So the fact that I was already able to accomplish that was, I mean, just a dream come true. Hopefully I'll be able to get back there or to another national morning news show eventually in my career and work as one of the anchors. So actually work on camera. That would be the ultimate goal. So we'll see if I can get back to New York City. It's not a matter of if, I think it's a matter of when. So I'm really excited to continue working and growing in this industry and seeing where that takes me. But for now, I'm excited to get back to Omaha and the community, continue to share the stories here in Omaha. I feel really, really lucky that I have this job because it's a position that I don't take lightly, being able to share the stories and the work of people here in this city that is now my home. Omaha will always have a piece of my heart now, no matter where I go in the future. So I'm excited to continue doing that. We have Miss Nebraska coming up in just a couple weeks. It's on June 6th. So I'll be competing for the title of Miss Nebraska alongside 19 other women all across the state. So I'm really, really excited for that. We'll see what happens. And I know I've put in a lot of work, a lot of time and effort to prepare for it. So now I'm ready to go. You know, I'm just excited to get there and showcase all of my hard work.
Okay, the gown.
Yes.
How do you have the gown? Like, I feel like the gown is it.
I am so excited.
I mean, did you have to try on 2 or 3? Did you just know when it came out, like a wedding dress?
Tried
you know?
a lot,
yeah.
Yes, but my gown is actually a custom gown. So we kind of created it from scratch, putting a couple different pieces from different gowns together. So I'm really excited to showcase it. I can't share too much, but it is my favorite evening gown I've ever worn. So you're going to have to follow me on Facebook or Instagram to see it and see what comes out of that.
Okay, this is it. We're almost done. How can people follow you?
Yeah.
You need more followers because you have such a great message. How can they follow you, connect with you?
Yeah. You can find me everywhere, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube even. My handle is Maria Cade TV, so it's pretty simple. You can find me everywhere. But I do have a Miss Omaha specific Instagram page. That's Miss Omaha NE, and that page is entirely dedicated to all my work as Miss Omaha. So if you're looking for the specifics or behind the scenes specifically of me as the title holder, that's where you can find it.
Well, thank you so much for being on my show. I love this woman.
course.
Remember, go out and shine, right? No matter what you do in your life, you're meant to shine, just like a disco ball, right? So these are just pieces, right, of woundedness, of who we were. But what we do with this is how we can share to the world reason to be here. Thank you so much.
Thank
and
you,
that is
Cade.
it for the Power Up Talk Show.